Good afternoon, everyone. Today is July the 4th, 2023, Tuesday. And happy 4th of July to everyone. And if you're watching this video happens to reach you, I would really appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. It's free of charge. I don't need your social security number. I don't need any personal information. I don't need any of that. It's free. Just hit the subscribe button over there. It's in a black little circle. And it says subscribe. Just touch that right there. Right over there. Touch it. Appreciate you. Now, this video I was hearing some people talk, women and men, and the women was asking the question like, they were talking to their friends, I was being nosy, I'm scouring around for content. And I like good content, I try to at least, I'm trying not to be with the stupid shit, you know what I'm saying? Trying not to be with the little boosty talk and what's going on with, all that type celebrities and all that. I'm trying to get in all that foolishness. Them people don't mean nothing to me. But if it means something to you, that's what y'all want to hear, let me know. I'll talk about Lil Boosie. But until then, I'm going to try to talk about some real stuff, real issues that people deal with. And so with that being said, they was talking about where are all the good men. And I heard some men talking about where are all the good women. And the answer to that question is, the good men somewhere with a no good woman. And the good women are somewhere with a no good man. 9 times out of 10, somebody single nowadays, they just coming out of a bullshit relationship and they don't want them right now if they're a good person. Now, there's some good single people, but they're usually the ones, they ain't looking for nobody right now because they done had their head that bashed in after the last relationship they were just in. And they done went through a lot of drama and stress or whatever, so they really ain't looking for nobody right now. So you might be running across, if you're single, you're looking to find somebody, you might be running across people that they be like, man, I don't want no relationship or whatever. I'm not looking. That's because they just probably got out of one that took them down through that. That don't mean they're hoes or players or whatever, like myself. It's just that people don't, it's some people like dirty. They do get dirty now. So a lot of times people not really wanting to get back into that right now. They want to take some time to kind of heal, I guess, from the damage that was done. People dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder from these crazy folks out here nowadays. There's some horrible men and some horrible women. They usually end up with good people. The bad men end up with good women, and the bad women end up with good men, and they end up destroying those people. They turn a good woman into a bad woman. She once was good, and vice versa. So why is that? Why do it seem like the good woman end up with the bad man, and the bad man the good man end up with the bad woman? And they say it's opposites attract. Opposites attract each other. You're gonna have to learn how to turn that around for you. I forgot. I can't say how I was gonna say that. You're gonna have to learn how to change that to where you start attracting what you are, instead of the opposite of what you are. And I ain't figured out how to do that yet. I'm working on it, but as soon as I find out, I'm gonna get back to y'all. But as of right now, that's what's going on. Opposites attract. And that's why the good women are with the bad men and the good men are with the bad women. And y'all know I ain't lying. You done seen it yourself. Probably experienced it yourself. And I'm gonna tell you like this, man. If you with somebody mistreating you or whatever, acting ass, they ain't gonna change. They ain't gonna change. That's who they are. And you be wondering, well, how did you end up with that person? Sometimes you'll start feeling bad, beating yourself up for ever even being with the person. You'll blame yourself for, how did I get with this asshole? And you'll beat yourself up, and you'll question yourself, and you'll doubt yourself, question your own sanity. Like, well, how did I become that stupid? You're not stupid. You're human. And what happened was that a-hole is a master manipulator. They know how to make you think that they're the best thing you ever seen or ever had in your life. Because if not, if they was an a-hole from the beginning, you wouldn't have got with them. If they started out treating you like crap, you wouldn't have got with them. Man or woman, they treated you amazingly in the beginning. That's how you ended up falling for them. Who wouldn't? We human. So that person, everything you thought a man or a woman should be is what they was. I know from experience. Been there, done that. And that's how you end up marrying that person. That's how you end up in a long-term relationship with that person, and 20 years later you feel like you wasted your time. And you wasted your life away. And I want to say something on that. You didn't waste your time or your life. Even if it didn't work out, it wasn't a waste. Everything in life is either a lesson or a blessing. And I forgot the other one, but you know what I'm talking about. It's no failure. You learn, unless you ain't learned nothing from it. The only way it's a failure is if you ain't learned nothing. The only way you wasted your time is if you ain't learned nothing from the situation. But as long as you learn something, you ain't waste your time being with somebody 20, 30 years or whatever, and in the end, it wasn't a waste of time. It was just life. You know, it was a chapter in your book. And life is like a book. You have different chapters. Each stage of your life, each decade, each month, each year is like another chapter in your book. So the first chapter might not have been that good. And then you go into the second chapter, it might not have been that good. But some point in time throughout your book, you got a chance to write your book to make the ending happy. It's up to you. Just because the ending might not start out happy, or they ain't happy in the middle of the book, or the 6th chapter or 7th chapter, by the time you get to the end chapter, you got a chance to make that book end up in a happy ending. That's on you. But don't blame yourself if you ended up with a no good, dirty person, because I guarantee you, I know for a fact in the beginning they weren't like that. They changed up on you. They changed up on you. I know you're looking stupid to your friends and your family, whatever, talking about, why you gonna leave them? Why you gonna leave them? Sometimes some people love hard, man. It's hard to leave when you love somebody. That's why you gotta be careful about who you give your heart to, because once you give it to them, you stuck for a minute until you get to a point where you can't take no more and you finally leave and your heart lets you leave, finally, after you done been kicked to the ground to barely living. Some folk, now your heart finally say, now you can go and go. But that's why you gotta be careful about who you give your heart to, because you don't know how long it's gonna take for you to get out of that mess if they ain't no good. So don't be people out here now that they fall in love too quick. They couple of weeks in, the person treating you real good, now that's your soulmate. You can't do that nowadays. The better somebody treating you nowadays, the more you need to be on guard. The better they treating you, the more they doing for you right out the gate. They starting out just amazing, like y'all just met, and they going hard for you. You better back off a little bit, beware, be suspicious. I know it seems like it's good, you just happy. 6 months in, I see folk nowadays been together 6, 7 months, they married. Cause how good that person was to them, they feel like this the one. But anyway, y'all, don't do that, man. I can't go into no deep, in-depth speech about why you shouldn't do that. Just don't do that. People the game is on point nowadays. There's people out here ain't got nothing, they're looking for a come up. They're looking for somebody to take care of men and women. Looking for somebody to provide for them, help them out. Don't be so quick to fall in love with somebody because they treating you how you want to be treated. Let me repeat that in my Dr. Umar voice. Don't let yourself fall in love with somebody because they're treating you how you want to be treated in the beginning. 5, 6 years later down the road, they still acting like that, then you got yourself something. But in the beginning, don't go get no marriage license and marry these people that you just met, cause 6 months into it, a year into it, they you everything, you ain't never been treated so good. Girl, that's game. Boy, that's game. That's how we end up with these low-down, dirty people 5, 6 years later, because we fell for the okie-doke. So keep that in mind when you're being wined and dined and flown all over the world and whatever you need, they got it. Beware of that. Especially in the beginning, especially in 2023. Manipulation is at an all-time high right now. So I can't say this enough, man. Be careful with your heart. I'd rather give away all my money, all my world possessions, than to give away my mind, my sanity. Because you lose that sanity, you might not ever get it back. You can get that money back. You can get them possessions back. But your mind, you might get it back once you lose to somebody, but a lot of times you don't recover from that. A lot of times you don't recover from losing your mind. That is your most prized possession, your mind. That's the most valuable thing we have as human beings is our mind. So be very, they call it the heart, but it's really your mind. The heart just pump blood. The heart don't feel, the heart don't think, the heart don't do anything, but pump blood. Your feelings and your emotions, all that is in your mind, your soul, your inner being. That's up here. Protect this by any means necessary. Stop giving it to just any goddamn body that tell you how good you look, or fuck you good, or whatever they might do. Stop doing that. So that's my belief on why there's no good men and no good women. Cause they somewhere with a no good woman or no good man. That's why the good women out here or the good men that's single can't find them cause they somewhere where they're wasting their time with some bullshit and don't know it yet. We all done been there. We all done it. So I'm getting ready to crank this grill up, man. Get these ribs going and whatever else I can think of throw on this grill and eat. Might go to the gym for a little while and I'll get back at y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.